Greetings, fellow adventurers and storytellers, and welcome to episode 7 of Fail with Hope.
Woo!
I think it's episode 7.
It might be episode 7 of Fail with Hope.
Might be episode 2. Who knows?
Who am I?
Let us know in chat what episode you think it is.
Are we in the woods?
Maybe we're in the
Are
woods.
we out of the woods?
Is this a village, city, town? A little bit of housekeeping to get out of the way. Next week will be our last stream of the year, at least of this campaign. We'll be picking up in the new year. Courtney will be having her baby in the next month. Holidays are all around us, family gatherings. So just to ease the load on all of us, as well as probably some of you at home as well, we'll be taking the month of December off, returning in the first week of January, possibly with a guest star. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, dropping frames has been solved. I was test streaming today. I think I got it figured out. I don't know. I just kept changing settings until I got better. If there's an issue again, let me know in chat. I'm trying to monitor it as best as I can, but I'm also trying to run a game. So just let me know. I'll try and fix things. We might have to break the stream for a little bit to change some settings around. Break it down. Last bit. I think I found a way for those of you at home to keep track of some of the resources that we're tracking. So maybe I'll label these later. But this top rack is their fear. Or I guess my fear that I've built up over time. So when they roll with fear, I get some of these resources and get to add it up. And where was I at? Three fear. And then
You're
also
at no fear.
Also, when we're tracking different progress countdowns, we can pop these up here as well, so you guys can be in touch with all the rest of us as to what we're tracking, all these different resources that we're talking about. Keep you all a little bit more in the loop of the mechanics happening and how things are flowing between the whole table. And I think that's it. So, last time, you all ventured out of the Briarwood Forest. The rift left open behind you, some new questions and mysteries around it running through your heads. You had the book from Suni's homeland, or at least a copy of a book from Suni's homeland, in this strange device, the amulet that Verlo had on his fungal person, and a very upset and Ferris woman that you were asked if you could find her and retrieve her. And after a few days of travel, you all felt the rage subsiding in your own minds and hearts, and you noticed that Geraldine as well was starting to calm down. And she kind of told you of her own memories of events, how things went down, and the strangeness of it all, even to her. But with all of that, you reached the border of the Kingdom of Tarkan itself, the kind of border of civilization, although you're still on the edges of that civilization, still some wild country in front of you. And greeting you at that border was Fort Louval, a fort that apparently was named after Tulok's family. In particular, her mother and father had statues within commemorating the sacrifice that they made in order to bring this new kingdom to fruition. A few encounters were had in the fort and the neighboring village of Boredo, where you all had just finished reuniting Yarla with her wife, and a happy reunion it was, despite a little bit of awkwardness. And it's only early afternoon here in the village of Boredo, just outside of the fort, a kind of trading outpost that has slowly expanded over time. And the village itself is in the throes of the celebrations of the Unification Day, in which the entire kingdom celebrates the unification of the lands of this continent and the progress and safety that it has afforded its citizens. But the day is yours here in the village to hang out, do what you want. The biggest attraction is the market. Merchants and vendors have come from all over to sell their wares here. But there are other festivities and entertainments about in this village for anyone that has come traveling down the road to this area, to the soldiers' families that live nearby. So the day is yours. What would you all like to do with it?
About what time of day is it?
It's early afternoon.
Well, I'm gonna watch how this turns out.
I want to ask somebody if there's a library in town.
Ooh.
You stop one of the serving maids as she's bustling about getting
Or
drinks
bookstore.
and the like. She stops and looks at you and says, a library? No, I think there's a military library in the fort, but there are some merchants selling books.
Okay. Thank you.
Ooh.
Of course.
Jeff,
Happy Unification Day.
Yeah.
I want to go book shopping with you.
Okay.
You can have fun. I'm gonna go with Jeff. I guess she's over it.
I would like to find someone to get a message ahead of us to the capital, if that's possible.
Certainly. The best kind of messenger service would be in the fort, but if the convocation has its own courier methods that you wanted to make access to.
Yeah, I think they definitely do. They have a fort like this would probably have like a convocation mage attached to the garrison, who could, I imagine, almost immediately convey a message to the kind of convocation center, whatever, in Sanctuary or anywhere else.
Yeah, part of the convocation's job in maintaining safety and security here in the kingdom, they do work with the Dragon Defenders pretty closely. So they would have kind of an outpost here in the fort itself. So you can head back up into Fort Louisville, absolutely. And pretty quickly, given the kind of structure and order of the layout of the fort, you can locate the kind of convocation office here at Fort Louisville. The symbol of the pyramid and the eye over the doorway there. As you head inside, and you can see a few, scribes and folk kind of taking messages and jotting down notes and relaying information back and forth. Maybe only 3 or 4 of them sitting at the tables around here, and one elven woman with long blonde hair kind of flowing down over her back. Stops speaking with an assistant that she's looking with, kind of looks over at you, sees the symbol on you, and she says, yes, can I help?
Are you with me or not?
I guess as you go in there, sure, I'll go in there with you. Yeah.
Cool. I glance at the symbol of the convocation, glance at Tulok. But then my attention returns to the elven woman. Hello. Okay. So, my name is Yvain Darosla. I am a convocation mage. What do we think? Do we think orders are ascending or descending? Perhaps first order, I think. First order. Reporting to Guide Cleggus Thornfield, and I have message to send to his attention in Sanctuary, if that is possible.
Oh, yes, of course. Let me see what I can do for you. You say he's in Sanctuary.
He is usually in Sanctuary, although possibly he is, of course, on his own business somewhere. But if we can send to Sanctuary to his attention, that will be enough for today, I think.
Would you like to speak with him directly, or did you have a...
If he is available to be spoken with, that would be most kind.
Everybody gets a hope. Sorry.
Everybody gets a hope at the start of the session.
So do you need that for anything? Sorry.
Wait, what do you mean you can just speak to him directly. What is that?
Of course, if he is available to be contacted and is in position where he can speak to me, he would be able to have conversation over far distance.
Like you're just gonna talk out loud and he's just gonna hear you, or you're like talking your head
When
to
we've
him?
done this before, is it a mental link? Do I talk out loud?
They actually have. There is the kind of convocation network, so it's kind of a room set aside where each of the academies, each of the major cities, and any other outposts like this would have a link, and it's actually a number of seashells that you can speak into and then listen.
That's adorable.
That we are going to like room that is have soundproofing, and there is seashell. Very pretty actually. They are always for some reason very very nice seashells. I don't know where they are come from. I think I have heard maybe Crystal Coast, but anyway, we are able to talk over a long distance.
That's
it is very
crazy.
useful for make reports.
That's nice. Anyway, that's cool. Do you think I can listen to your report?
I have nothing to hide.
I'll just take some notes, you know? I'll just shoot off of your report.
Perhaps you could fill in some details if you are so inclined.
You what?
Perhaps you could fill in some details if you are so inclined.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take notes.
Okay.
Okay.
The elven woman who introduces herself as Guide Varys gestures to a couple of benches. She says you can have a seat. And she actually asks one of the scribes to get you quill and parchment. In case she can't get through, you could write a note as well to send to him, or a report to be official. And tea is brought out for you as well as she goes back into the hub to see if she can make contact.
We were told
In
there was a
fact.
library here.
She said there were a number of merchants selling books.
There was a library at the front.
Oh yes, there's probably a military library.
Military or scribes on the street.
See, I like the idea of the military library, but then it might be a book that I want to take.
Okay, then we didn't follow them. We're just in the merchant.
Did you give Jax and Sumi any money before they left to buy books?
They are not asked, but I assume they have
They
handful
probably
of
have
gold.
money, right? Yeah.
Probably it is even on their character sheet in equipment section.
We're holding on to all the money, right?
We need money. I got a handful of gold.
You got a pocket full of sunshine.
After maybe 10 or 15 minutes, Guide Varys comes back out into the room and she says, I was able to get a hold of Guide Clegus. He is waiting for you inside.
It is excellent. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Possible. Would you like to step into the room with me?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
She brings you back through, and you do see this small office space, and there's one desk in the middle of the room with a chair behind it, and then shelves lining the walls with all of these different shelves lining the wall with these different shelves upon it. And you can see each of them kind of has a label for different districts and cities and the like. There's one shell sitting at the desk already.
I walk over to it and pick it up. Guide Clegus, this is your student Yvain reporting in from Fort Luther.
Ah, Tutor Yvain, good to hear you.
We have arrived safely out of Briarwood, but I am afraid that I have sad news to report. Teacher Verlo is dead.
There's a moment's pause before you just hear, well, fuck.
That
Asshole, he always did. He gets so caught up in the research and totally unaware of any dangers around him.
I want you to know that we are find him in town of Glade Hollow, and he is in midst of research. He has set up place there, and he is on mission. We are agreed to help him with mission, and then next morning he is disappeared, and we are only find him slain several days later.
That sounds like him. Once he gets on the case of something, it's hard to pull him off it. Despite his intelligence, he's a little scatterbrained. Or at least hyper-focused.
Yeah.
He's, don't look at this as a failure. You did what I asked you to. You found him.
Well,
Last I saw him, he said he was onto something big. I could tell he had that look in his eyes. He was gonna go off hunted down no matter what got into his way.
we are continue his mission as best we are able. I am not want you to think that we find him and turn around. He is have how you are say bug up his ass about there is influence he's saying on my Corsial network, and it is making people in this place feel enraged. They are feel rage from inside them, and they are do terrible things we are see with our own eyes. They are take over this place and turn to savagery and violence and brutality. And he is say that influence is coming from specific location. When we are find him, I am find on him amulet, a symbol of convocation, but is have eye that point to location. We are followed, and there we are find terrible things.
There's one thing I know about Verlo. Whatever he was on, whatever answers he was looking for, it was to keep the people of this kingdom safe.
Yep.
I don't know if we should say too much more over the line. Can you get to Sanctuary?
We are at Fort Louisville, so I think probably is maybe a couple of weeks, but yes, we are head to Sanctuary.
All right, when you do, come to the academy, find me.
But before you go, what do you know about Shiners?
About what everyone else does. They're hateful. Monsters. Love to kill. Best guesses are they're not from here. But no one can figure out where they came from. Wherever they came from, they're here now. And they're a threat.
I am think that, well, I will tell you more when I see you, but maybe it's time to do research.
The amulet. You should ask him if he wants the amulet, because I want that amulet. And we could probably solve a lot if you just ask him if he needs it. Thanks for letting me take notes.
You are. That is Tulak Louisville, Dragon Defender. You probably recognize the name. She has encountered us in Briarwoods. And this amulet. You know anything about?
I don't. If you can get it to me, maybe I can tell you more. If Verlo thought it was important, it's
Well-
worth looking into.
Okay. I will bring to you.
But I've been sent on a mission to recover it because it was stolen by Verlo.
She said that she has been sent on mission to recover and was stolen by Verlo. Who is sending you on mission?
The Dragon Defenders.
She said that Dragon Defenders have sent her on mission. You can look into this.
I have contacts. I'll make sure she's not reprimanded for not following the mission.
Okay. It will be good. Anything that you can find out is maybe center of more controversy than I am aware.
I don't think your contacts are going to tell my contacts not to reprimand me.
She has said that she is not thinking that your contacts will tell her contacts not to reprimand her.
I think my contacts will tell your contacts not to reprimand you.
She is starting to throw weight around.
He says, I've dealt with enough dragon fenders. I know that tone.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
We will sort all out when we get to Sanctuary. Do not worry, it will be okay.
I don't. Okay.
Unless you are can tell us more.
I can't tell you anymore.
Okay.
She is throwing weight around.
This is great mystery. But we will proceed to Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Keep safe. And you are my guide. This is not my place to say, but in words of less words maybe of Odessi, don't trust anyone.
Keep that in mind. You keep yourself safe.
Okay. Okay.
By the way, hoke is like common words in my language now. I just say hoke.
It is have
Whole
weird
day.
infectiousness, I am aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hoke.
Okay.
Sorry. I had to break
Jax and Suni wandering about through the village a bit. And it is rather crowded for the festival. And there are market stalls and vendors and carts set up everywhere on top of the kind of merchants that are here year round. Moving through the crowd a little bit, you see some kids playing some games, and there's music happening off on the side. This kind of line of people conga lining through the crowds, trying to pull more people in as they go.
I dance with them.
You dance along with them until the line kind of brings you by, and you can see this cart set up with kind of tables out in front of it and an awning over where there are books both on display and just in piles on the tables around, and a sign at the front that reads the Scribe's Satchel. And there is a fairy man with kind of a bumblebees behind him, and these wings buzzing a bit as he's going around helping a few patrons as you come over. And he turns and looks at you, and he says, welcome to the Scribe's Satchel, and happy Unification Day to you. I've got deals on books. What can I help you find?
I'm looking for either ants or bees or cordyceps fungus. Books on those things.
Very specific. I like that. Let me see what I can find.
I'm looking for fairy tales.
He quirks a bit of an eyebrow.
I know,
at you.
sorry. I realized as I said that might be a little offensive.
You get used to it, but it's a little sensitive.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Come on in, take a look around. I'll see if I've got anything in the back to suit your needs. You can see a few other of the villagers, and you can see quite a few of them, kind of living in a small, isolated village. This is a big event where the outside world comes in, and kind of the one time of year that they get a lot of these traders coming through here. So they're all quite excited, and many of them coming to get new books. And villages are often slim on books and reading, so they're quite excited to get quite a few of those. And after a couple of minutes, he does come back out with a few books of fairy tales for you to choose from, as well as he has one book of etymology on insects, and another dealing with botany as a whole. He's like, I don't know if there's much in here really in regards to quadriceps.
Quadriceps. Can I look? Can I see if it has?
Of course.
And then I scan.
He hands them out to you. You both also find, each of you finds a book in the piles that just draws your attention to it. As soon as you see the spine, you just instantly want it. What is that book?
First glance, it looks like octopus tentacles are like.
It's kind of scroll work along the
Yeah,
spine.
on the binding. But then as you look closer, it's actually tree roots, and it's more of a. As I pick it up and take a look at it, it's tree roots that are the same kind of look as the the squiggly tentacles, and it's a book about rocks.
Okay.
Weird. It's like
Quill just came right back in there.
It's actually
Awkward
it's called Quill's Guide to Rocks.
Yeah.
well, you think it'd be about trees or something, but it's about rocks.
Yeah,
And
it's all
so
about
it really it was like, oh, okay.
Quill said she was just going to sit on a mountaintop the rest of her life, but what she was doing up there
Cataloging everything.
How to store them properly. Make sure to get yourself a haversack. And Sudi, what book did you find that drew you in, so to speak?
It was a very simple looking book. Didn't have tentacles. A red book with gold, like goldish red lettering on the front, and people holding hands on it, and it just says empaths, a guide for sensitive people, and she just gets drawn to that and picks that up.
As you go to pick it up, another customer kind of reaches for the book at the same time, and you have that awkward kind of you both grab a hold of it and then look. And when you look up, you see another Qatari, in fact, another Mirati youth, a young adult. Where did I put his name at? Ooh, flip the page.
Jensen.
By the
Really
name.
others need for the book.
And so you guys kind of look at each other, have that awkward moment, and then kind of have the recognition of hey, you're from where I'm from. And he offers you the formal greeting of Mirat. What is that greeting? How do these desert cat people greet each other?
Yeah, we don't greet each other. Cats don't like other cats. I don't know what to tell you. I think it would start with a bow,
Mm-hmm.
and then a hand raised up.
Claws in.
Claws in. It would be something like. I don't know. This is really on the spot because I'm trying to think of something that would work for. May the moon and sun guide your steps. I don't know.
So he does kind of, after that awkward moment passes, he gives the bow and the hand raised with his claws in, saying, "May the moon and sun guide your steps. I am Jodara. I did not know that you would be interested in such a book as well. I apologize, please."
Thank you.
He says, "I did not expect to meet a fellow Marathi so far from home."
Are you journeying because you are trying to write a book?
His eyes kind of light up. He says, "Yes, one must learn the richness and detail of everything that makes up a world.
It is true.
I have only been away for some months. How long have you been?"
Not very long either, really.
Have you heard any news from home? I do miss it so.
No, but I did have to recently send my raven back with a message. There seems to be strange things happening around here.
You see, he immediately pulls out a journal. Strange things. Would you share this knowledge?
The Shiners. I'm not quite certain, but it seems like they are coming from a place that maybe one of us has written about. And I get, oh gosh. Yeah, I would have the book. I wouldn't have let any
The
of
whole
you touch
device,
it.
the whole device is a little clunky, but over the course of traveling here, you could have extricated what
Yeah.
remains of the book.
And I get the book out and I show it to him.
You show, and again, you can kind of see as soon as you open it up, the words, which normally have this kind of undulating roll to them, almost leaping off the page, are much more broken and stuttering. Very obvious signs of destruction, that the book is no longer what it once was. And he gives a soft little hiss at seeing this devastation done to such a sacred item. He says, do you mind, may I?
Yes, you can touch. It is something I am currently researching on. The place that I went and the portal that seemed to have happened from this book. There is a lot of anger there. The Shiners have always been violent. I'm thinking that place that they come from is a very violent place.
He is very absorbed in looking at this book, and you actually see this kind of mask of sorrow come over his face at seeing what was done to this book. He says, "Who would do such a thing?
Well,
to such a relic?"
it would seem that this is a copy, but it is still an affront to our people.
And it has, these words had power.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was a kingdom mage.
He kind of looks around at the crowd around him a little bit. Closes the book up and hands it back to him.
These
He
people
says,
are so interested in unification, but there are shadows underneath it, I think.
"This is truly a tragedy. I know nothing of this book or what. I did not even know such a book could be destroyed. If there is anyone who knows Elder Yalma, she would know. She knows all of the histories. She has kept the records of our books for decades."
But that would mean returning. So I sent a raven. My place is here to find out what is really going on.
I cannot tell you the path that you should take, but whoever is doing this is committing crimes against our people.
Indeed.
We should have some duty, some obligation to find out what we can to stop it.
This is what I intend to do.
I do not mean to bring rainy clouds onto this bright Unification Day. It has been a pleasure to speak of someone.
Suni, look, I found a book about rocks!
Aw, that is so cute. That is a very sparkly cover.
I thought you'd like it.
Me?
Bugs sit on rocks.
This is true. It is good to learn about rocks, as is everything else. Making a world, there are actually a surprising amount of rock variation that can go into it. Thank you.
Jodara kind of gives a little bit of a smile to you as well, and he just says, well, there is much to see and celebrate today. It has been good to speak with you. Pleasure to meet you as well.
Bye!
I hope to see you again soon before you leave.
Yes. Where are you staying?
There's been a nice couple that has offered me lodging if I would do some work for them.
What is her name? So I can find you later, perhaps?
He said, the Berkshires.
The what?
The Berkshires. They live just on the east end of the village.
Okay.
Trying to find out what he's saying.
It's the greenhouse on the corner. My room is the back one. I'll keep the light on.
Suni just shows up, be like, okay, I'm leaving, bye. Just to let you know.
The books that were found for you, as well as the books that you found yourselves, are obviously available for purchase. You have the funds on you to buy them.
And I was also looking for something like specifically for the Briar Woods, like
About the donkeys.
about the donkeys and just like the woods in general, like a history of the Briarwoods, or like these fairy tales of the Briarwoods or something, like old stories and like old tales of the Briarwood Forest.
Has there ever been a madness in the Briarwoods before?
Where is it the donkeys?
Is there a fairy tale about it?
You look through some of the books. There is
I'm not there.
nothing specifically on the Briarwood, but there is a book on the regions of the continent.
Okay.
So there's probably like a chapter or something in there dedicated
Cool.
to that as well.
I want that book.
That sounds like a good book.
I'll pay for all our books together.
Okay.
You do so. The two of you, Yvain and Tulok, after your brief conversation with the guide, you're heading back down into Beredo. You want to hang out here in the fort?
Well, I followed up my report
Mm-hmm.
that I took notes of while Yvain gave his report
Mm-hmm.
to Clagus.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew what I was going to put in my report before he gave his, but
Do I see any of your report as you fold it?
yeah, sure.
I'm not trying to like start
Yeah.
fish it, but I glance over, but I'm not.
The
trying
first
to
word
I mean,
is
if you
the
try-
first word is hoke.
So
I mean, if you try to read my report, you would see it. I mean, I don't hide it. It's definitely pretty much verbatim what you said. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole thing, though. You know, everything that's going on up there.
Mm-hmm.
And that Clagus said that he would try to get me out of trouble with everyone because I'm not going to be putting the amulet in the Dropbox today.
Okay.
So talk to Clagus. Amulet's not here.
Great.
But we'll be coming to the convocation. Sorry. And I draw a little heart at the bottom. To block. Actually, I think I like signed the Q with a little heart, you know? So cute. And then, yeah, so I folded up maybe like some origami. Like I spent some time folding it
Into a
really
turtle.
nice, like secret message, like, yeah, like a turtle origami. I think that would be nice so they'll know that it's from me. Yeah. But I don't remember where the Dropbox is. So I
You kept the.
no, I didn't. I didn't keep the map.
She walked out with the map and then it destroyed itself.
I never
She
looked at it.
accidentally-
Oh yeah.
Like, all
Destroyed
over the
itself.
Yeah,
Confidential information. You can't just go wandering around with it.
I know, but I didn't even look at it. So I put it in my pocket and I walk out of there, and I hope that Amran is still around like he said he'd be. And I go back around Fort Tulok because that's where I saw him last. Louisville. I'm Tulok. Fort Louisville. I'm gonna walk around
In the fort?
in the fort for a little bit.
Do you, I mean,
Wander around me. Yeah, you can, we can hang out if you want. I'll
Okay.
just kind of meander a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Check out the fort, read the plaques, you know, see what's going on, see some kids training, kind of help them out a little bit. You know, raise your elbows, point that way. You know, just kind of stick my nose in where it doesn't belong sometimes. It's still like looking around.
It's okay if I can ask you a question.
Sure.
I say after a little while. Well, please, if this is too personal, you can tell me to fuck off.
Probably will.
Is this place is named for your parents?
Yeah.
And when we stopped that statue, you are seem like maybe you are have complicated memories of them. Like maybe everybody is called them hero, but for you it is not exactly the same. Is that that is accurate?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's like just kind of keep walking around the square. You know, just talking. Yeah. Well, you know, it's like you should be number one. You know. But I wasn't. But I get it. Now. So it's like took time to figure that out. But it's like longer to let it go of how angry I was. Does that make sense? No.
That makes sense, but
But they're heroes. I mean, they did a lot, and they did it for you,
for
me,
for all of Kingdom.
for everyone. I mean, they know how to fight, and they did it so well, and they're amazing. And who they were amazing people. And everyone should know that. So they're heroes.
So it is why you are joining Dragon Defenders, to be like them.
Yeah, I guess. You know, it's a long journey. I mean, yeah, I mean, my brother went to join them first. My little brother, he went.
Little brother, so
Yeah. Well, when they left, I had to take care of him.
the
And then he went. And I haven't seen him since. So I went to find him.
you are not seeing him. You are not know where he is, but you are could find out.
I'll find him. So, just looking for him.
He's still a Dragon Defender.
I don't know. You'd think it wouldn't be that hard to find, a blonde Galapa.
With famous last name.
Yeah, but
But if he is... something is happening and...
he might just be busy, working, doing things. I don't know. Looking for amulets or something.
That would be unusual family resemblance.
It would, right? It could happen, I guess. I don't know. Who knows what he's doing? But he was destined to be a hero too. He was just like them. So it wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure he's doing great things.
You will find your way to Dragon Defenders also. But later.
Yeah, later. I was definitely full of anger for a long time, though. It was a little messy. I wasn't so quick to think the kingdom was a great thing. I had a lot of resentment, Stole my parents and my brother.
What has changed your mind?
Amarin.
Who is that?
I don't know. This guy I met once, the person.
This must be important to you.
Yeah, he was a friend of my family, long time ago. Anyway, trouble. He found me and he just said, "You gotta do better, kid," and got me out of a pickle and set me on the straight and narrow, so. But I did what I had to do for a long time, and, here I am now. Just, doing what I have to do for the kingdom. So here we are. Anyway,
we will sort this all out, amulet and everything, when we get back to Sanctuary.
I hope so, honestly, because this is my first, real job here, and kind of failing. I got one job.
You are not failing.
One job.
You are not failing.
Get
Amulet
that
is
thing,
recovered.
And
we
I
are
don't got
taking
it.
it back to where it has to be, one way or another.
It's fine. I drew lots of hearts on my notes, so maybe that'll make up for it. And there's a lot of information that they didn't know they wanted. I'm giving them tons of info, except you already told them, so now it's not really news. Now I'm just kind of telling the kingdom what they already know. I don't know. I mean, they'll find value. I'm sure they'll be like, "Wow, Tulak, we're keeping her around for a reason."
Okay. Convocation in Dragon Defenders, we are all part of the same fight.
Yeah,
We all protect the kingdom.
definitely.
Yeah. You are part of that. I am part of that.
Yeah,
We are each do our part.
totes.
Magots.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you say that too?
I am here at once in bar.
Oh, cool.
He's old dwarf. He is a big beard. He is always talk about the tots magots.
You know the dwarf?
I am just one time in
Oh,
Kitten.
that's crazy. I heard stories about him. Anyway, okay.
He is famous guy.
Yeah.
He is famous guy.
Kind of a big
it
deal.
was big honor.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Yeah.
Put
Well, I mean, I know they all work together and that's cool and stuff. It's just, it's like, how when you get your first mission? Do you remember your first mission?
this is first mission.
Oh.
So I am feel exactly the same way.
Had to get to the Mushroom Man. Your first mission. Okay. All right.
You were on Seashell Call. You are here. I am
Right.
try to make it sound not so bad, but I find Mushroom Guy. A couple days later, he is died.
At least you found him, though. I mean, when you found him, he was alive.
I am
So,
do as was instructed, but still, it's
Yeah.
important also now that
Kinda
I am
died
go
on your
above
watch,
and
though.
beyond to make up for any perceived discrepancy. You will understand, of course.
Yeah. Get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. We'll be fine. First missions suck. I think that's what this comes down to. They suck.
We are do more than is asked and confront unusual challenge.
And
Everything will be fine.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, so we didn't
Yeah.
do what they asked per se. I mean, well, you did.
I am maybe
But-
go above and beyond Call of Duty actually, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, so we
It's
couldn't
only- but
cover
those
the hole
only-
with a rug. We found a hole.
That
Yeah.
we are actually uncover bigger danger.
Yeah.
That threat to kingdom.
Yeah. And all those people who came back and they were like, yeah, Yvain sent me.
That.
Right.
That.
You saved a lot of people.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
helped.
Yeah, I did too.
You are helped.
Totally.
That.
We're great.
We're heroes.
I am think
Heroes galore.
probably Jax and Sumi have had lots of time to book shop. We should go find.
Yeah.
Head out of the fort and back towards
Yeah, we're cool.
Laredo. You pass by, you can see kind of a small, sparse, dispersed crowd that is all coming up to what looks like a large wall, just kind of standing in the middle of a field. Seemingly one solid piece of flat stone that is covered in names. And you can see a plaque at the bottom that just says the Wall of Remembrance. And you see people are kind of coming up and lighting candles to place there, some kind of putting flowers and other trinkets down, others just kind of going along and reading the names of it. And, you know, people are doing like charcoal etchings of some of the names up there. And it looks to be kind of a memorial to not only Louvols, but others that fell in the quest for unification of the kingdom. And so it seems to be a bit of a central centerpiece for the festivities. Seems like everybody in the village is kind of making their way there throughout the day. Back down. But you pass by from that and head into
We
the...
can pause for a minute and like kind of bow head, set a small sourceless flame burning. It'll last for 5 minutes or so.
As you come back down into the village itself, which again is not a vastly huge village, doesn't take too long to kind of spot Jax, and maybe more spot Suni in the crowd than Jax. But you spot the two of them with kind of some books under their arms as they're also
Look,
heading
there is
out.
Suni and whole in crowd.
The other cat person.
Ooh, question too. With this new armor that I have,
Yes.
what does it look like?
What does it look like?
It was from somebody, I forget who we got it from. It was from the people in the
Oh, it's from one of the guys in the cave, right?
Yeah. I think it
big
was-
guy in the cave.
The big guy in
Yeah.
the cave, maybe?
The big guy had the Harrowbone armor.
Oh, okay.
Which
Oh,
one
we
are you
don't have
wearing?
that?
I'm wearing the armor,
The polished gambesson or whatever it's
Improved
called.
the
Gambeson armor.
improved Gambeson
that's
armor.
Oh
Oh,
boy, do I put the
What does it look like? It's your character.
It looks like shit.
uh-oh.
Okay.
So I would also like to
New
find.
and improved.
It's a good armor, but it looks like crap. Like
yeah.
it was not taken care of as much as I would like to take care
It's
of
got
it. So
like
I would like to
beer
find,
stains.
yeah, somebody like a seamstress to find some fabric, maybe something. I've been mostly all black.
Okay.
But this I want more of like a textured gray, like checkered print maybe, fabric.
There is a dwarven couple selling textiles and fabrics
Cool.
for yards and yards of it, and you find the perfect, or perhaps the combination of perfect fabrics to bring this armor to what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
What fabric do you find for it?
Yeah, so there's some like thicker types. Oh, I know nothing about fabric. Thicker, fluffier, more like a
Like
a
wool?
curtain. Yeah, like a thick curtain fabric that you would put on the outside. So it's like it keeps like its shape, you know, and I'm gonna sew it to the armor itself. But it's all dark grays and checked. So like it's like an old 80s 70s, 80s suit that you'd see, like people with like the crazy patterns and whatever, with maybe like a splash of yellow on the shoulder pads.
Okay.
So I need like a yellow.
Mhm.
I need checks. I need gray.
You got that?
Yellow is a lucky color.
And yeah, that's what I look for.
They have everything that you look for.
I take it all.
Why does
so
this sound
that's-
like Charlie Brown?
No.
Is it Charlie Brown?
No.
Yellow, checks, gray.
Charlie
He's
Brown's
brown.
a zigzag.
Oh, okay.
He's brown too. Like he's brown.
Brown stripes.
Stripe.
Okay.
Yes, they
Don't
have,
look like Charlie Brown.
they have all the fabric you need to make your character look exactly how you want your character to look. In addition, while you're all kind of there checking out these textiles, you both catch the scent of a familiar blend of spices and vegetables, a popular dish on the Crystal Coast that immediately gets your mouth watering. Tulok, what is this dish that's being sold?
Oh,
Something to bring you back to those childhood vacations.
yeah. Well, it's got garlic and kale. Because we just had that and it was really good. It's salty.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe some like fruits in there, like some cranberries or something. Yeah, I think that's it. Honestly, it's just like some greens. Maybe it's actually seaweed.
I was gonna say it is the Crystal Coast.
It's the Crystal Coast in Amagalapa. It's seaweed.
It's their famous cranberry garlic seaweed stew.
Yeah.
With tuna. No, with the anchovies. Yeah.
So in the
That's
five.
just like, as when you said that, I was like, that suddenly started sounding good.
Really?
Yeah, it needs like that like briny, like
Yeah,
umami
okay.
note.
It would
With
say so.
cranberries.
I think I just made
Yeah.
it awful, but
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. That's what
So
it
the
is.
cranberries aren't like dried cranberries; they're like whole cranberries.
Oh, I was actually thinking like craisin cranberries.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
Interesting.
yeah, sure, whole.
No, it's your dish.
Yeah.
In the 5 or 10 minutes that kind of Jax is going through these, and again, Jax, the smell hits you as well, reminding you of home. Your stomach starts to rumble enough that you kind of immediately head over to that, where you can see another Galapa who's kind of sitting at a little soup cart mixing up all these foods, little food truck style. For people and kind of handing out bowls to people stopping by. It looks like she has a variety of foods from around the kingdom, but does have this seaweed dish from the Crystal Coast prepared and ready to go that you can go over and grab a few bowls for everybody. Yvain,
This weird combination of flavor.
It's good though, right?
Yvain,
In this
please,
sort of way.
Wow.
please make an instinct roll.
Okay. Is it like reaction roll? Or
Nope.
just roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's 15 with fear.
15 with fear. Well, I just used a fear for that, so that's good.
That's not what I got.
I know.
You, as you're digging into this dish and kind of experiencing all of these different flavors, you feel the slightest movement under your shirt and quickly realize that the chain is being slipped. You reach back to grab, missing the hand that was going to grab it, and as you turn, you see a cloaked figure darting off through the crowd.
I am slam staff into ground, cast Mystic Tether.
Which does?
Make a spellcast roll against the target within far range.
Yep.
On a success, they are temporarily restrained and mark as stress.
Okay.
And
I want to help with that.
Wait.
Bad.
Me too. I didn't roll my.
I would like to spend the hope to stick to the mission. On this.
For your experience.
And, so this is
Wait, is this an action roll?
I don't know. The
It
more I
is.
think about it,
Oh.
the more I actually think about it.
Well, this is a spellcast roll. I don't know why.
Is it an action roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once per short rest, after an ally attempts an action roll, but before the consequences take place, you may offer assistance or words of support. When you do, they may re-roll their die. They must accept the result of this new roll. I could use this.
Good.
But I haven't rolled yet.
Yeah, so you'd have to roll, and then before any consequences take place.
So if I roll and I think it's
Assistance.
like shit, then I'm like, hey, please help. Is that right?
I guess so, yes.
Read it again.
After an ally attempts an action roll, but
Mhm.
before the consequences take place,
Okay.
you may offer assistance. So, like, if I see, like, some kind of little flub, I can try to
Mm-hmm.
interject into the story.
This is pretty good, actually.
And I have a 4 to add to that.
You have 4 to add to that?
Mhm.
Okay, I don't think I need that then.
Okay.
But thank you.
Then I just look in awe at how smooth you're being right now.
It's a 27 with fear.
Whew.
Wow.
With fear. And this restraint, what does it look like as you tether?
Somebody tried to steal his emails.
I slam the staff into the ground as I
you.
kind of miss turning around and see this figure darting off, and the crystal flashes white, and this sort of like jagged line snakes out towards, or not even snakes, like flashes out towards them, and all of a sudden they're sort of like wrapped in this like glowing crystalline structure.
And there are a few kind of gasps and shouts from the crowd around as you start casting this magic in the midst of the hustle and bustle. But you see the cloaked figure kind of in mid-stride freezes with this crystal lattice work coming up around him.
Do not be alarmed! This is convocation business!
What?
That was awesome.
Stay where you are! And they go striding towards the figure.
You go striding over, you hear a second voice ringing out, clear and proud over the crowd. Yes, yes, don't be alarmed, anyone. Convocation business. And you immediately recognize the voice of Glackus Tran. And that's where we'll take a break.
Oh,
That's
he's
your
the dick.
dude.
We'll be back in 10, 15 minutes to find out what drama unfolds next. We'll see you all then. Welcome back, everybody, to Fail with Hope, episode 7, question mark. That'll be the title of this episode.
We could have looked it up on the break, but
we
But we did
rejoin
not.
our adventurers as they are enjoying the bustling marketplace on Unification Day here in the village of Boredo, in which a
burrito.
not as light-fingered as he'd hoped individual just tried to lift the amulet off of Yvain's neck, and in stopping him, an old acquaintance made his presence known as well. So in this moment, as the crowd is all kind of like parting and looking in, these two mages of the convocation making declarations, you all see a tall, handsome, elven man with very fine cut silks, made for travel, but looking very rich as well, walking up through the crowd, kind of looking at Yvain and this hooded figure that Yvain has captured. And you see as he does, coming up behind them, two other figures. One, a human man in brown, simple robes, kind of walking up along behind him. And the other, a massive fairy person with the kind of carapace and horned helm of a rhinoceros beetle who stands close to 7 feet tall without the horn, and a good foot extra with the horn curling up
Is it sharpened?
off of his. It's not sharpened, off of his head as well. And they come up and kind of flanking Galacus as he walks over towards you with this big smile on his face, and he says, "Ah, Skippy, good to see you again."
Noble
Skippy.
scion of the Tran clan. What are you doing here?
He gives a formal bow and he says, I was just coming to check on my friend. And he gestures to the hooded figure, kind of still frozen there. And you see, waves his hand a little bit as the magic dispels. And the hooded figure kind of stoops down a little bit, pulling the hood back, showing a female Qatari, very kind of lithe and athletic-looking figure with pitch black fur and these piercing blue eyes, kind of turns and looks at all of you with this predatory grin on her face.
Why I am not surprised that you are consort with thief.
A thief, my good man. We are agents of the Convocation. We are on a very important mission.
You are bastard. She is thief.
We do what we must, and for the glory of the kingdom.
Hey, what's her name?
This is Vestian.
Hey.
She just goes, "Hey."
Thief Vestian, why you are reaching to my clothing?
She kind of just looks up towards Galacus and he says, well, as I said, we're on a mission.
What is mission?
To retrieve an amulet.
Strange. What amulet?
The amulet that we were told was in your possession.
Who is tell you that?
Well, I don't mean to boast, but the first wizard herself sent me to look after it.
I assume you have
Of course.
charter for mission, of course.
My
that you can
marks
show.
in the academy brought me to her attention, and shortly after being raised at a convocation, she sought me out personally.
Your father brought you to her attention. As he has paved way for you every day of your life.
Somebody sounds a little jealous.
Shut the
This is-
fuck up.
Says,
Sorry, totally on his side. Just saying. You're a jerk.
he didn't buy my grades in school, that's for certain, and, well, please don't let me be rude. These are my associates. I've already introduced you to Vestian. He gestures up to the big beetle fairy man. He says, this is Dinah. And of course, my last friend, Petar.
A great displeasure to meet you all.
They have joined me in this mission for the kingdom and have performed quite admirably up until the day. And he gives a little bit of a scowl to Vestian. He says, and who are your associates, Skippy?
Who's Skippy?
Oh.
Why do you keep calling him Skippy?
Clan likes to come up with nicknames for those who outdo him in competition.
You've seen him walk, right?
Oh, that's why?
Who's Skippy?
Oh, you are a dick.
And he is have a very, very finely honed sense of
Yeah, it smells rich. Yeah.
And
That's honestly, like,
Yeah.
that's the best you can come up with.
Well, that was the one that stuck.
To you, probably. That's a really stupid nickname.
Honestly, that's really.
Who could ever come up? I'm sorry. That's so
You
stupid.
could have come up with something better, honestly.
He
Wow.
gives this condescending smile to all of you, and he just says, well, if we're done being rude, I've made our introductions. Who are all of you?
Rude. You just tried to steal from us.
you are never done being rude.
And
Clan.
name calling.
This is Sunni Jax Tulak.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm sure your association with our friend here won't hold too roughly against you. My friends, young Yevon here, worked harder than anyone else I knew at the academy to make it through, and he barely did it that. But I see that it didn't stop you from making it into the convocation. Congratulations.
It certainly did not. And I will do my part for kingdom while you are off kissing boots. leaking little bit of shit from tip.
I will do what I must in order to make sure that this kingdom is safe. But I assume that you're on your first mission as well. How did it go?
Went
Perfectly.
fine.
His eyebrow raises a little bit. He says, "No. However it went, as I mentioned, the first wizard herself sent us on us to retrieve the amulet and return it to her post-haste."
Then, of course, if that is your mission, you have some sort of charter.
Of course! He pulls across his silk vest, whipping out paper that you see has the convocation seal on it, in addition to the seal of the first wizard.
Every day, what does it say?
It is a mission statement for him to come here to this fort to wait specifically for you and to retrieve the amulet from you at all costs.
Wow, that's interesting, isn't it?
Certainly, this is real.
I look at it, and does it look real to me?
Part of the reason I'm asking is because I think you have a spell to reveal hidden things. But
I'll check. I'm new to this game.
I step over to Yvain.
Says, "Wow, your
I do
hair."
not care if this seal is real or not. He's not taking that amulet.
Hell no.
Think so.
you good luck. Spasibo.
I only whisper it to him though.
Oh, I didn't know you were
reveal.
whispering. Sorry.
Yeah.
Then I did not say hell no.
No, I don't think this would apply because it's just for hidden things.
If there is anything hidden within close range, the roll would succeed against it is no longer hidden.
That's like I don't know
It's up
that
to you if you feel like it would work.
doesn't seem like it would for like
Like an illusion or something.
because this is an illusion. This would be like a forgery, if anything. You know.
I don't know.
I see what you want. I see what you want.
It looks legit.
Okay.
I'm done.
And you would all probably know, the first wizard is a high-ranking member of the convocation, and she is actually the advisor to the High King.
Well, you're going to have to get in line because she wants it too. Everybody has orders to get the amulet for someone else. It's interesting.
Yes, but mine are the only orders from the person that it belongs to. And she would like it back.
I would, of course, never be so foolish as to disobey the first wizard. However, I cannot say that I have very much confidence in your ability to deliver this to her. Perhaps you should meet us in Sanctuary and we can deliver it together.
Make a presence roll with disadvantage because he hates you.
That's also a terrible stat.
Is that a tag team thing that
I
you do?
would
I
gladly
You could offer help.
like to help you. Go for it.
Do you have something that can help?
Try to do reassurance
I'm well
again if it
connected,
turns out to be a shit.
But
Thank you.
Is this a roll I make?
If you're helping him, no.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Does it give him advantage?
Yeah.
Then I will help you.
So you spend a hope to help.
Yeah.
You step
So-
up behind Yvain.
So you roll a
Because
d6.
I have conviction.
Mhm. Ooh, which does.
It's just what I have. It's like one of my new thingies, but I can't really. It gives me advantage to de-escalate a violent situation, or it gets someone to follow your lead. But it's like it's my role, but I stand with conviction behind you.
I'm gonna interpret this narratively as just Jax like kind of like puts
In my
herself
new
like
suit.
behind, but still like kind of also like not in front, but like suddenly sort of takes focus and just strikes a pose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you spend a hope to help,
Yeah.
your advantage will cancel out the disadvantage.
Okay.
Well,
Cool. So do we Do I roll a d6 for disadvantage?
Nope,
And she
they cancel
just
each other,
cancels
so you don't
out.
roll anything. You just roll your regular
Uh,
presence roll.
is this a stick to the mission? I mean, I
mean,
feel like my
yeah, it
mission is to get this thing back to Sanctuary now.
Yeah.
But of course,
Plagueis-
we disagree.
Plagueis told you to bring it to him.
Okay, and I think so.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I do.
That's not bad.
I also have a 3 to add
So
to
do
it.
I reassure
You
you?
have a 3 to add to it?
Do I reassure?
Sure. Let's see. That's a 16. 18 plus 3 is 21. I think that feels pretty good. 21 with hope.
Take your hope. He continues with this condescending smile on his face, almost more of a sneer, as he eyes each of you around Yvain. And he just says, well, I'm sure as you can see by my orders, I have the authority to kill you and take it myself. I would be in the right.
Wait a minute. That
You
says
are,
you can
but-
of
kill.
course, welcome to try.
I'm much more forward to watching you fall flat on your face. So, we'll be keeping an eye out. We'll be reporting to the first wizard that you have disobeyed her orders. And let her know that you're on the way, as you say you are.
And you are welcome to tell her that I am on my way to obey her orders personally as a devoted servant of the kingdom. And please, as we travel, keep out of smelling range. I do not wish your odor to come across our
But
path.
the Bastion school would be fine if she shows up, right? She wants to. Probably.
And if I see your Qatari friend here, make sure she keeps her clothes out of my clothing. Wherever else she puts them is her business.
He just says, she'll keep her claws wherever I tell her to keep them. He gives a final bow around to all of you and he says, it was a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm sure that you won't find his company too disconcerting.
Ew.
And
I
he
just waved at Bastion.
starts to turn, he goes back and he says, by the way, your hair, spectacular.
I know.
And he walks off. His 3 associates all kind of look around awkwardly at you and turn to follow after him.
What about Vested? Just
I'm invested now.
as a player, not as a character.
Vestian gives one longer look around, seemingly quite full of shame at the fact that she had failed to lift the item without being noticed, but gives a longer stare around before also turning to catch up with the others.
It's a slow burn.
I mock him as he walks away, like, look at him walk. Like, however, his pompous ass is fucking walking away.
He is always do that. He is walk like he is have something stuck in his asshole and he is afraid it will fall out.
It is, I think, narcissism. The inside very fragile, so they have to put up front like they're big shit.
Yeah, sorry, Skip.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Gross.
That is like the worst.
Unfortunately, Trends are one of the foremost noble houses in the kingdom. So his father has cleared way for him, arranged everything in his life. But do not let that fool you. He is talented wizard. He is dumb guy, but he is talented wizard.
Well,
Anybody
I'm
can
sorry
have
you put
talent.
up with him.
Yeah.
That's
So-
annoying.
Why is it that Tippy Top Mage wants to actually maybe kill you for the amulet? That wasn't the right thing.
This is, I am think, deeper waters that we swim in than we are aware. Now that we are back in kingdom, you are have mission to also obtain.
It said it was her amulet.
Sure.
Friends
Yeah.
have
I mean, she's
charter from
willing to
First
kill.
Wizard.
It's her amulet, and it was stolen from her.
They are both students of
but-
Convocation. As far as anyone knows, Yvain is completely loyal to Convocation. Why?
We are not know, but this thing I think maybe is more than it is seen.
I mean, the orders that I got is also that the amulet goes to the first wizard.
Oh,
So it is interesting that Clegus hasn't said it's going to the first wizard yet.
It's possible he is not know.
Could be.
Or he wants the notoriety of getting it to them first.
Could be that.
It would be to his credit if he is returned it, but
did he say?
he is not sound like he is know what I am talk about when I am mention it. But I am glad that I am tell him because if something has happened to us now, at least
He's
is
your
able
guy.
to start to look.
I mean, it's not like every mage knows every, magical object there is. The second
Yeah.
they hear about it,
Have I
it's
ever
not a-
heard of the first wizard's amulet? Yeah, this is not like big,
Knowledge that it was
Symbol
stolen
or-
and
famous artifact. I mean, maybe it is his secret.
But
Maybe he
yes,
knows
remember
now.
I was saying before, the amulet's eye was pointing to the portal,
That
and that was fucked up. And now everyone wants this amulet that points to this portal that shimmers come out of.
perhaps, while we are continue to translate the journal, we are also spend some time to see if we can find anything more about the amulet, if we can decipher enchantment upon it, if we are to find anything about why would first wizard have amulet that point to hole in air where shiner come out.
and where
What if-
mages from
From
the
Kingdom.
kingdom have given this book
What if that
and
is
it
where
has fucking
magic-
ass wipes trying to kill us for it.
What if it is where magic comes from?
What's where? What?
Magic comes from.
From where?
Like maybe it just points to the largest source
That
of
book.
magic.
He's come from other side.
From where
The
shinies come
amulet
from.
points to magic.
Yeah,
No.
she is this, what if magic is come from other side of hole in air.
And they've been trying to control it, trying to get it
Yeah.
out. What if it is that?
It is possible. We are not really know where source origin
That the
of
mages
magic
are
is.
trying to find the source of magic in our world. Is that what
Or
you're saying?
control it. Maybe it is coming from another place. We get many different things from our books.
I mean, it didn't exist though until
Few centuries ago.
the portal didn't exist until we
The
saw
portal
it exist.
is new. Our portal that we saw was new.
Yeah.
But magic just came into the world one day.
We are not really understand origins of magic.
And that amulet is very old. Book is very old.
Hmm.
Questions.
To be specific, this is arcane magic.
Yes.
Arcane magic is only centuries
There's,
old.
like,
Obviously,
primal
there are
magic
other
and
kinds
other
of
magics
magics that
that
have
have
existed
existed.
before, but it is arcane magic that is no.
So like Octavia's
Obviously.
magic's been here for
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say, my
long,
magic's
long
been
time.
here.
We're
Yeah,
on
divine
same page.
magic has
We
been
study.
around, primal
Yeah.
magics have been around, but arcane magic is much newer to the world.
Like a couple hundred.
Few centuries, yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah, that's what we nerd out about. So,
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is wizards are the people that are not to be trusted right now. Not you guys. But that's, I mean, that's what's happening.
I
I mean, from
reluctantly agree with
the what
Kingdom
the
mages, they made that weird contraption, or at least brought it
Mhm.
with the book and destroyed it.
Verlo said to not trust something. Meiji.
Yeah,
you
there was
can
a lot of
trust.
blood.
He is
Your own hands,
not trust anyone.
things you can touch.
And it might be
So-
not anyone from your convocation thingy because
It's possible.
wasn't he a part of it or he
Yeah.
was
What did Plagueis say exactly?
Clegis is he is not seem to have heard of amulet. He is say that he will investigate to bring to him. Say it is strange. That is about it. He's not say much more about it, right?
Did
He didn't seem to know much about
Yeah.
an
he
amulet.
said bring it to me.
divulged everything to him?
More or less. I mean, we are not exactly open, but not exactly secret. Communication. So I am not give every detail. I am give
Because of potential security leak.
Does, there are ways if you are powerful enough and you have knowledge of specific communication between two shells, you are potentially able to put your ears in between so that what is said goes into one ear and out of other, but stays in your brain. That was a roundabout way of explaining.
Well,
But you trust him? You've known him a long time.
I have no choice but to trust him. He is mentor. He is take me under wing when no one else. He's helped me through academy. He's make life for me. I am not the convocation now. I think always has been riven with discord and mutual distrust is way of mages. But Clegis never has shown anything but openness and honesty to me. This is one of the reasons why I am work with him.
I mean, this is my gut feeling, is that he actually is a good mage.
Yeah.
Just a pawn.
Because if this first wizard lady knew or listened to your conversation, why would she send people to steal it from you instead of say, hey, bring it to me?
Is good question.
They
However, they are have charter from dated several weeks ago. They are sent here to wait for us, which is mean that first wizard is know that the
That we
Verlo
would be
has
coming
amulet.
back.
Is good chance that the Verlo is dead.
Did you knew Virgo had the amulet?
yes.
Yeah, so this is not big secret, I
That's
guess.
So
But they are first wizard is know that we are looking for Verlo, that we are potentially find him dead, that we are come back this way with amulet. All of this first wizard is know more than 2 weeks ago to send the clock is out here. How is this? There is knowledge
did
at
this
work
on the
here that
Raven.
we are not know.
I sent a raven.
Yeah, but still, you are sent Raven, 1 week ago?
But
It
not
is not enough
not to
time.
the mages.
And
This
not
is
many.
true. We met Tulak beforehand.
This is mean that first wizard is send train out this way. Maybe when we are get close to Glade Hollow, maybe even before.
Do you think
But
he's scrying
that-
on us?
That scroll didn't
No.
include Tulak, didn't include me.
Yet.
Your people want the amulet. Do you know anything why?
To get it back to the first.
That is
Just-
what they are
just
telling
for
you.
that.
What?
That is what they are telling you.
But they didn't
Yes,
tell you to
because-
kill us.
No. No,
But
it was just I was sent to
Just to
recover
take
it from Verlo because Verlo stole it. Had nothing to do with you guys.
See, that sounds better that they just wanted her to be a thief rather than them being murderers. It's
it
in-
sounds
also
better
could've just
because
said
it
that.
does involve us.
it is more violent.
It always sound bad when somebody is say they are told they can kill you.
They also could have just
Although-
said that.
Really, I have seen you all fight. I would like to see those fuckers try.
Hells yeah.
Oh, do you really want to?
But I think it might have just been all talk.
Maybe you are just distract the other Qatari and take her off to another room. I don't know.
Get the drinks.
Okay. Well, we should keep eyes open. How you are say head on swivel all the way back to Sanctuary. They are say they will not fuck with us, but I am not trust that motherfucker farther than I can piss.
Maybe you should not be wearing it around your neck where it can be lifted. Maybe there should be a pocket inside your shirt or something.
That is not a bad idea.
It figures. You know, I was finally gonna celebrate this Unification Day this year.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
overrated.
Mm.
You can sew pocket.
It's possible to stay
I could sew it into
connected
his
to
shirt.
item while is not around neck but is in like secret pocket or something.
You
I
know,
could sew
we
it into your shirt.
We
Sew
could
it into-
just.
I
Okay.
can sew it into the neck of your shirt.
I will start to smell it because I will never take off until we get to Sanctuary.
We have prestidigitation.
Okay.
I
We were
could
taught
just
not to be
turn it
lazy
over to
about
my
that.
guy.
That is possibility, but now more than ever, I want to bring to Sanctuary and have Clegis look at.
But what if we are taking it right into the jaws of machinations and craziness?
We are not even know that it is bad to give to first wizard. I am just not want to hand
feel like
over
it is.
to strange people here, give to Glockus Tren in middle of street.
I just think we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. But if we just stand around in this town holding on to the amulet, we're definitely damned.
It's true.
And the longer we hold on to it,
We should get moving.
Let
we
us,
should probably just turn it over one way or another.
let us not
If you
forget.
give it to someone from the
Well,
congregation.
now I absolutely cannot turn over. I have promised to deliver to First Wizard personally.
Yeah.
If I am arriving sanctuary without the amulet, I am dead man.
Okay, well then we should probably just get on the road.
There is the amulet, but there was also the book, and that was delivered to the Briarwood at some other time by also a convocation mage.
It's true.
So there is something going on with the convocation.
Yeah.
Which was just reported to you, by you, to the convocation.
He's reported to my mentor. It's not same thing as standing in room with all of convocation and shouting.
And then we get this letter. Oh, this is just so weird.
My gut is now actually trusting Clagus.
Yeah, that is good.
I was not before.
What does Octavia say?
That we should bring it to Clagus.
Okay.
Is that your gut or
That
is
is
that
good.
Octavia?
What's the difference?
Octavia is have tentacle in her gut.
Oh, the poop.
Yeah, I just seeing this guy. Anybody who sent him on a message, I just don't trust that they.
Welcome to 8 years at the academy with that fuck.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
No,
do it.
sounds painful.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so glad I got such a visceral reaction from all of you. It's
I'm sorry for flipping you off, Josh.
not me. It's Glackus.
Skippy is like the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, that was so mean.
It's about as mean as I could think.
That was so mean.
Like as petty and mean as I could think.
It was the worst insult
Shitty,
ever.
rich boy, petty.
Yeah.
It's Draco Malfoy.
hmm
That's
Yeah.
a little bit worse.
Well played.
Yeah, he's a real shithead.
So, on the road again? Are we leaving town tonight?
We were planning to
staying?
stay in overnight and then leave in morning.
First thing in the morning is probably the
Yeah.
safest thing. A room
Yeah,
with a
unless
lock
we're-
on the door.
Yeah, we can
I didn't
lock the
think-
door and.
Honestly, our best bet here is to travel in open, stay in village, stay in town.
Mm-hmm.
If we are camped out in woods by side of road, anything could happen. They
Yeah.
could come on us at night and just kill us,
Yeah.
or try to. Either
They
way,
could try.
Is there another
Yeah.
village
nah, there is next
within
village.
a day?
There is village about 1 day's travel all the way back to sanctuary. It's
Beautiful.
kind of, pattern of village. So
Cool.
Maybe we can travel with any groups, any merchants that would also be traveling out.
we are travel openly on road, make friends, talk to people. In that way, if we are go missing, somebody has seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's possible also that there are others than Glockus. Maybe she has sent more people
Mm-hmm.
who are not so
Probably.
amenable to persuasion.
Probably. She is the first mage.
She is first wizard.
Wizard.
She is have many long reach.
The sun begins to set on this early summer night. You head back towards the Dragon's Drink where you have procured a room. And you can see there seems to be a crowd of people gathering up one street over from where you're at. And what looks like a few kind of like armored toughs with like orange security shirts on that are kind of forming this open ring in the middle of the crowd. Many of the crowd are like gathering in and looking in expectantly at whatever these fellows are creating space for.
Well, I'm curious.
What is it?
Head over to join.
You
all
can't
of the
describe
crowd.
something like that. Well, that look, yeah, all right. We're
My way.
You head over towards that crowd and you can see there are signs up that just say BBB in this like beautiful flowing cursive script. Kind of every 10 or 20 yards around the circle. BBB.
Believe the bees buzz.
And as you approach over, and you can hear this kind of murmur around the crowd, this buzz of anticipation and excitement, you see what almost like a little spark, but continuous, fizzling in the middle of this circle, just starting to fizzle as you approach. And as you do, that spark starts to shift from a red, a violet, a green, a yellow, an orange, faster and faster, and it starts to grow in size little by little. And there's kind of this, like, these oohs and ahs going through the crowd until the spark starts to spin. And it's sizzling out, spinning faster and faster, the colors going by quicker and quicker, till it's making these big, huge circles, almost filling the space that the muscle has cleared out here. And it starts to rise upwards with this, like, rainbow smoke falling off the sides of it as it sizzles its way up, spiraling into a tighter and tighter circle, dropping this thick cloud of smoke that's kind of sinking down to the ground and around your feet, around you, before it shoots up into the sky, and the whole crowd's like, ooh, as they follow it upwards, or it splits off into a dozen different directions, and poof, 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 fireworks all across the sky, highlighting letters B, B, B across it. And as your eyes come down from the firework, the smoke settling down around it, you can see this almost like a circus tent of many colored fabrics all draped around it, almost like a hodgepodge patchwork of all these different colors and materials, but somehow all seem to go together in this elegant cacophony of color around it, and like all the crowds like clapping and cheering, and you can see standing in front of this tent, that the tent flap opening just seems to lead into darkness beyond, is a Draconis man with scales of every color of the rainbow coming down over his body. And he's wearing this kind of sleeveless yellow robe over his, again, prismatic scaled chest showing through the open robe at the front, as he's looking out around the crowd, and just says, "Ladies, gentlemen, for one night only, Balthazar's Bazaar Bazaar awaits you. Please
Whoa.
come in, sample our wares, and see what we can do to help you."
Oh, it's
And immediately the crowd all starts like filtering in and lining up to head into this tent.
Balthazar's Bazaar Bazaar. A shield, a nice shield would be pretty sweet.
I
If
guess we
he
should
had
go
something like that.
take a look. We could take a look.
But
There's a
I've
lot of
only
people.
got like a handful of
We
gold.
got to get in line. Look at all the people. Let's go.
Alright,
let's go.
I'll shove my way in there.
You push in towards this crowd, and you see they're all kind of waiting along, and some of the hired muscle is kind of now making sure that the line stays orderly, nobody's cutting in, and this Draconis figure at the front is like, "Push, no pushing, no rushing. We'll be here all night long. I assure you, we have plenty for everyone. Just take your times and come in. We'll be happy to assist you."
Here have a little bit of wood from, jagged knife. Is strictly speaking, I should report, but no one will know about it. If something that you see catches your eye, I am
Yes.
happy to share. We are all, I think, in this together, at least for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Bandit
like-
loot. We're giving it back to the local economy. It's good.
That is a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and they didn't tell you to come up here and loot things
Yeah, it is
or collect things
part
that
of
we find.
regulation, but it's probably most ignored regulation in book.
Okay. Does anyone know about this whole Balthazar Bazaar? This is new to me.
It seems a little.
Have you heard of Balthazar's Bazaar Bazaar?
Those of you from the sanctuary, or who have visited it, or any of the other major cities, Balthazar's Bazaar Bazaar is a chain of magical curiosities and the like. So basically, all your adventuring needs can be found here. He is.
Is this Balthazar?
This looks to be Balthazar, as the line moves in closer and he kind of keeps talking out to the crowd, you can spot pretty easily that this is like an illusion at the doorway here, kind of greeting everybody with this big draconic smile and ushering them in one by one. As you get closer towards the door, and you can see each person kind of stepping into this dark opening in the tent flap. As they step in, there's a little bit of a glowing light that surrounds them, and then they almost just like disappear inside. Little by little, you get closer towards the front. Balthazar giving this broad smile to everyone as they're coming through. He says, "I assure you, we have deals galore for Unification Day. You will not be disappointed." And eventually you come up yourselves to where this dark opening sits in the tent flaps.
Walk on in.
As you walk in, this warm light surrounds you as well. And between one step and the next, it almost feels like you're frozen in time for an eternity, a moment. It feels strange before your foot settles on the other side. And the light kind of fades from around you, and you can see this massive, sprawling area, much bigger than the tent outside would suggest, with these thick, ornate rugs covering the floor all around, and shelves and cases and stands and displays all around of all kinds of assorted different arms and armor, potions, adventuring gear, other magical trinkets and doodads. And you can see as kind of each group comes in, another illusion forms up in front of them of this prismatically scaled draconis man in the same yellow robes that greets each one of them and kind of takes them off to show them his wares one by one through. And even with the amount of people you saw coming in before you, there's quite a few people in here, but it doesn't feel crowded at all, as everyone's kind of making their way and making requests of what they would like to purchase from Balthazar's Bizarre Bazaar. And indeed, as you all head into this as well, the illusion appears in front of you, and he's, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Balthazar's Bizarre Bazaar. I'm pleased and honored to service you today. What is it in particular that you're looking for? Would you just like to peruse our wares as a whole?"
Is there something that can make me fly?
Flight is a big, big ask. Come, step this way. With me. And you can see he almost like goes to guide you, but being an illusion, he has no physical touch for you.
As we're on our way to flight, I tell him, heavy one-handed weapons, shields, things like that too, also very cool.
Oh, I can assure you we have the Kingdom of Tarkan's finest arms and armor available today.
I mean, we don't have to get anything, guys. I'm just interested in, what do they got, for the future.
Oh, I think we should learn how to fly today.
Always good to look.
Yeah. Cool.
He walks you through, and he's kind of pointing out a few things here and there. He says, of course, we have some recipes over there, something of interest to any of you that could help you concoct some new potions that you might be looking for. And this little, and he gestures up to where you can see this little, almost like a love seat up on a shelf, but it's only about this big. And sitting on it, kind of lounging back with its legs back, you can see this little glowing figure of a person, you think, but it's so tiny it's hard to see. He says, and of course, our little sprite friend over there can help you along your travels and adventures, making sure that you stay safe, and those that you don't want to, do not.
Do you have a recipe on how to make a health potion?
I'm afraid the health potion, we haven't quite cracked the formula yet in order to make for purchase, but we do have the recipes for minor stamina potions. Still quite useful.
The recipe for?
Yes, so that you could, of course, make your own whenever you wish. We don't like to force you to come back and keep spending your gold with us, although we do appreciate it.
How much is that? Just to know.
That we could certainly, on Unification Day, I could part with it for a handful of gold.
Okay.
He keeps walking you through, and he says, that, and he gestures over to where there's this long, beautiful, elegant display case with this long, narrow feather in it that kind of goes from this burning red to orange to yellow, and he says, that, of course, is the ever so rare phoenix feather. I know it's not quite a health potion, but if you're in a dire circumstance, it can certainly help you in such an occasion. He continues to walk through.
Is that our diamond?
It's not quite a diamond in the sense of...
I mean, does it
break
help
that
you
down for
cheat
me, Barney
death?
style?
Cheat death, is it?
The phoenix feather. While you have a phoenix feather on you, if you drop unconscious and roll to see if you take a scar, which is one of the things you can do when you go unconscious, you get a +1 to your die result.
Ah.
And for a reminder, we have had one death, but it's not a common occurrence here. When you go unconscious, you can go out in a blaze of glory, you do one less action, it is an automatic critical, and then you die. You can avoid death. And face the consequences. So you roll your hope die, and the value needs to be equal or under your level. You gain a scar, which we can talk about if and when that happens. You drop unconscious temporarily, and then eventually come back to, whether you're healed or just given time to come back. So this phoenix feather, it says it gives you a +1 to the die result, but it would be a -1 because you want to roll under your level.
Okay, it's that roll.
Yep. Or the risk it all, where you just roll hope and fear, and if hope is higher, you live, and if fear is higher, you die. So that is what the phoenix feather does. Not quite the diamond revivify that you might be looking for.
I zoned out. I thought you were like, did we have a diamond? Is that our
When
diamond?
did we get a diamond?
Someone stole our
When
diamond.
the fuck did we get ice
Stole our
cream?
diamond? Glaucus.
What the Glaucus?
What the Glaucus?
You used to wear it. It was a little tiara right there.
He continues walking you through, kind of pointing out things as he goes, and you can see the other mirror image illusions of Balthazar doing the same thing with every other person as they're walking through.
Creepy. That's so creepy.
He kind of gestures and he
It's
says,
magic.
and of course we have a few unstable arcane shards left over, the improved Grindletooth venom, a little bit of guild salve over here, but you said you were looking for weapons.
Yeah.
Right this way. And he brings you over down to where you can see rows of armor on stands and weapon racks hanging up along the walls there.
Were you looking for things too?
I want to look for the original Balthazar.
You ask him.
Yes.
He looks at you and says, I'm afraid that Prime is back in Sanctuary, of course, at our main branch.
He's not here?
No, unless you count me. I am an extension of him. But I can assure you he would be pleased to meet you in person should you ever make your way to Sanctuary.
Do you sign autographs the same? Can we find out?
I'm afraid I can't touch things.
Right. Well, I guess then you wouldn't.
This is
That's why I want to
bit
meet
of an
him.
inconvenience.
I want to touch those shiny scales.
Well, now a Balthazar autograph, they must be worth a lot.
Probably.
It is said that he is a frequent guest at some of the more colorful galas in Sanctuary, but that he is rarely seen in the light of day.
Is he
Maybe
vampire?
this isn't even what he looks like.
Never heard that he was one of the vampire, but it is possible. I don't know.
He
Mostly
brings
just that he is a guy who goes out at night, which is like, not exactly the same. He is party guy. That is what-
Party boy.
Party vampire.
he brings you down past the armor stands through this. It's almost like forming this little hallway until you come into where you just see racks upon racks upon racks of weapons. Every weapon imaginable hanging on these racks around him. And he just says, "You said you were looking for something one-handed."
Yes, because I like to hold a shield with the other,
Do you have a shield?
I'd like to shield on the front and shield on the back and then just...
Do you have a shield for it? Or
Quite
were you-
wise,
Yeah.
quite wise.
Yeah.
I just like, to see if there's any better shields for my shield.
And you prefer, you look very strong and
Mm-hmm.
capable.
Yeah.
And of course, you prefer physical or magical?
Oh, physical.
Okay, let's see what we have here. And he says, I do have an improved mace,
Okay.
always handy in a jam.
Yeah, that's what I use a regular mace now, but it's just not quite. Like I feel like it could
You are
just
could
do a
improve
little
on that.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it could improve.
It is slightly better than the regular mace. It has been improved.
It
of
is
course.
improved mace.
Oh well, that does sound like an improved mace could
He
be.
says, I do.
An improvement.
It's quite rare.
Mhm.
I might be able to part with it. And he goes over off of the racks, and in a display case all on its own is this long, sweeping, beautiful blade that looks to be made of gold. The entire length of the blade, the hilt, all of it.
It's only a little improved.
He says, no, this is the gilded falchion. An
Oh.
extraordinary weapon of the utmost quality, I can assure you.
What's that gonna run? Definitely more than a handful.
The gilded falchion, I could part with it for 5 handfuls.
5 handfuls.
How
Can I
many
just
handfuls
hold
do I
it?
have?
He looks over and he gives this slight gesture, and you see the glass over the case just slightly dissolves. And almost in the same instance that it dissolves, almost appearing from out of the shadows, one of these big armored toughs, security guards, also steps out. He's not doing anything, but he's definitely like, now that this is out, he's watching as you come over.
10 handfuls go back.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can lift it up and check it out.
Okay, so I just pick it up, swing it around a little bit.
It's very well balanced. You can see, despite the falchion kind of has that very wide blade to it, but it slices through the air quite cleanly. Mechanically, it is a strength-based melee weapon. It does a D10 plus 4 physical damage,
D10 plus 4.
and it has the powerful trait. You roll an extra damage die, drop the lowest.
Use it D10 plus 4 using your proficiency.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime it's just D whatever, you always proficiency before that.
So
The approved mace is very similar to the mace you have now, but it also does a D10 plus 4 physical damage.
So currently my mace is 2d8 plus 4.
So both of these would be an improvement.
Both of them would be, yeah. But a d10
It
or
would use
2d8.
using your
No,
proficiency.
it's
That's
your
why I asked.
proficiency D10. So if your proficiency is 2, it's 2D10.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, the way to up your damage in this game is to increase your proficiency.
And
'Cause
roll,
that's how many
roll
damage
higher
dice you
damage
roll.
dice.
Yep.
Dice.
Dies.
Dice.
Who dies them?
2 dice.
So you said that the bazaar is also in Sanctuary. So
We have locations throughout the kingdom. We are happy to serve wherever we can.
So perhaps this falchion could also maybe be at the Sanctuary.
Such an item is common enough that we have it in most of our establishments.
Like, say, when I complete a job, when I get paid, I could, like, go there and say, I'd like the falchion to be brought there. You guys could, like, transport it
We
there.
got money.
Above the table, we have some money. I don't know if you're just...
Yeah, I know
okay.
we as a group do.
Right.
Yeah,
You
You
can have
s-
some of that to buy things if you want to.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see
I just,
his...
like, we as a group have not talked about how we're spending it
I know.
as players.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, as
That's why I'm
characters.
saying this
As
now.
characters, yes.
Okay.
You see his eyes kind of like lose focus on you, and they seem to be like jittering back and forth, tracking something. And he says, yes, we have one of these in stock in Sanctuary, and usually when they sell, we quickly manufacture a new one.
Oh, that's good. So they're not like limited quantity. Good to know. Good to know.
How much if she were to purchase the improved miss?
4 handfuls.
Hmm.
Right. So, do you have anything for flying or no?
Flying is a tricky one to pull off, I'm afraid. What we have here for this particular event, I don't have anything on hand.
What about the jumping really high and then landing and not killing yourself?
I can certainly look through.
Like,
Like maybe a penny.
super duper pogo stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like to
Pogo
fall
stick.
I just want to
softly.
see a cat on a pogo stick.
I used to I had a pogo stick
Yeah.
and I just bounced on back in I don't know, I was in elementary school, I had nothing else to do with my life. So I was just doing it as many times as possible, just on the driveway.
My old friend Sarah had a pogo stick, and that was the best.
They do also, mentioning shields, they have an improved round shield,
For
which is strength based, does a d4 plus 2, proficiency d4 plus 2. It also has the protective feature, which gives plus 2 to your armor score. Or they have the improved tower shield, d6 plus 2 physical damage, which has the barrier feature. It gives plus 4 to your armor score, but minus 2 to your evasion. It is a full tower shield. It is as big as you are.
that's so sick though.
That's pretty sick.
My
Tower
evasion
shield.
is 9.
You could be a fucking turtle with a tower shield.
Yeah.
A turtle tank.
Shield in the front, shield in the back.
Or they have
I think my evasion of 9 is okay.
I mean, you would
Going
get
down to 7 would be a little crappy, but not awful.
your
And
your armor score would be ridiculous. 'Cause
Yeah.
it gives you
And
plus
my-
4.
and you're
Seems
using.
like
You have that trait that allows you to immediately reduce damage by your armor score without using an armor slot.
Physical damage.
Well, my
Physical
current armor right now is 6. As a 2 with a Galapa, I have a base armor of 3, and I'm getting 1 from the round shield.
Okay.
So
So we'd go up 3 with the tower shield.
So it would go up 3 more,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or 2, 3 with. Is it 3 for the tower shield?
It's
Well, your
plus
current shield is
4
plus
to
4
armor.
for the tower
This is
shield.
plus 4.
It is a
So I
net
have a-
gain of 3.
So I would have an armor of 9 with an evasion of 7.
Or they
The improved
have,
round shield, that's what I have, which is just as good too.
or they have a spiked shield, which does a d6 plus 2 physical, proficiency d6 plus 2 physical. It has the feature double duty, plus 2 to your armor score, plus 1 to primary weapon damage in melee. So it's like you hit and slam them with the spiked shield.
What does that cost?
That's 4 handfuls.
And the tower shield and the improved round shield are also 4.
Also 4.
Okay. I think that you have soaked up enough damage in battle for us that 4 or even 5 handfuls would be acceptable. I think. I don't know how
How
everybody
many
else is
handfuls do we have?
At the moment, I have 4, and then we have bag.
Yeah, what is bag?
Bag is 10.
Bag is 10.
Yep.
Da.
It's all by 10, so handfuls to bag to chest,
Da.
chest to hoard.
I think that tower shield is so cool. You are like guy who runs around battlefield slams down shield and says, "Fuck with me now."
Could I sell you a round shield for 2 handfuls? Just a regular round shield.
Used. I'd offer you a handful in trading.
Yeah, he's not so bad.
Handful's a handful.
Okay.
So we could say a handful off of a tower shield would take it down to 3 handfuls on a tower shield.
Seems reasonable.
Okay, so I'll throw in 1 handful and a round shield, and take 2 from the party fund.
Great. Do you like the tower shield? I know I was like, I just thought it was so cool. I don't
Yeah,
really
I
pressing
was
you into
looking
it, but I really
at
thought
what
it was cool
I
as hell.
would take for a shield, and that was there because Elena had a tower shield too.
Yeah.
And I like the tower shield. It's nice.
It's pretty cool.
Flavor-wise, it was a tower shield. Mechanically, in 5e, there's no such thing.
Yeah. So the okay, so I'm removing that equipment. This is not an improved tower shield though. This is just a regular tower shield, right?
No, it's improved.
It is improved.
Hell yeah.
These are all tier 2. As you are tier 2.
How do we know what tier we are?
So is it custom?
2 to 4. Levels 2 to 4 is tier 2.
Okay. You can seize if you need
It's a win away.
to.
Suni, in answer to your question, he says, I don't have anything specifically of what you're looking for, but I think if someone with a little imagination might find these useful, I do have, and he kind of brings you back out into the main floor room where he's going through some of these shelves, and he pulls down this flat rod inscribed with a number of runes, and you see he takes it and the runes glow and he lets go, and it
I want this.
suspends in air there.
Well, guess we're going into 10, everyone.
Here we go again. And he says, I also have, and he moves down a few other shelves, where he pulls down this pair of delicate-looking leather gloves, but the gloves have like almost these small plates at the end of each of the fingers, and he looks at them and he says, gestures with his hands a little bit, and one of the gloves kind of floats up off of the shelf, zips across, hitting the tent wall across from it, and sticks there. He says, those are gecko gloves.
May I demo? May I try?
Of course, of course.
And I go and I put my hands in,
Put your hands in.
and I try to climb up the wall.
It sticks. The gecko gloves, you can climb vertical surfaces and across ceilings with them.
Oh, I definitely try to climb the ceiling and see how that feels.
Start going across
how
the
do
ceiling.
do I just dangle like my feet fall?
If that's the way you want it to happen.
I don't.
The magic of the gloves can allow you as a whole to walk like a gecko. It's not just the gloves themselves.
Oh my god, guys, both of these things I cannot choose. They're both excellent. This is excellent, and
This
so
is
is that.
hurting Nick.
That-
It's hurting Nick to look at you.
Oh, it is amazing. My tail's just whipping back. I climb down. How much is gloves, and how much is rod that floats in air?
The suspended rod and the gloves, a handful of gold each.
It's not bad.
I think they are both good. I think we should have both in our party bag.
I am not
Personally.
opposed. I have 2 questions. One, is this like in Wizard in how you are say 5th edition, where you can find spell books and then have the spells, or is it like basically I can buy the main card?
You're asking in character, but out of character.
Yeah.
Okay, but I like it. I like to tell your tips.
As far
Yes.
as I know, there's not. You couldn't buy other domain cards. You couldn't learn new spells in that sense. I think there are like consumable items that do spell effects things.
Like scrolls.
Because it's like, we have these like grimoire domain cards.
Yeah,
That,
it's
like, it would be
kinda
cool to be
cool.
able to find them.
It would be cool.
You know?
Or like there's certain game stuff. There's a mechanic where you can build spells based
Right.
on like your level and stuff. That would be fun. All
Yeah.
that stuff. But we can use like scrolls. Probably. Consumable books.
I don't have all of the magic items memorized, so I'm just checking. for
I know it was a
anything
big question.
else.
I'm just curious.
As far as things that are available here, there wouldn't be
No.
anything
Mm-hmm.
like a spell scroll in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But to give you a bit of a quick run, because he does, he'll spend as long as you need taking you through. Just to give you an idea of some of the things he shows. Again, basically any of the tier 2 armors, weapons, and the like. In addition, he has the things that I listed before: the recipe for a minor stamina potion, the little sprite, the corrector sprite, the phoenix feather, unstable arcane shard, improved grindletooth venom, the gill salve. He has a whistle that makes a very distinct and shrill sound that can be heard for up to a mile.
We like that.
Good to have.
A quiver that none of you are really using bows. He has a magic torch that lights at will and spreads light farther than it looks like it should. He has a simple pair of manacles for those that need that sort of thing. He does equip adventurers. A cloak that changes color, texture, and size to whatever you wish
Oh my god, how much
it
is
to
that?
be.
How much is that?
That is a handful of gold.
Do I have a handful of gold?
Are the manacles just one handful?
Mm-hmm.
I want the cloak that makes me an octopus.
Yep.
Yep.
So it is an arcane cloak in the equipment. You have to have the spell cast ability, which you do to use it. Net. He has jarred fire.
Do we have any pass without a trace or anything like that?
We do not. We are not sneaky.
Any sneaky,
He
creepy
has
stuff?
jarred fire.
The gecko
You
gloves
can
are pretty sneaky.
you can pour the contents of this jar out to instantly create fire, and it regenerates its contents every long rest.
Oh, Suni.
The suspended
That
rod
sounds
that
good.
you bought.
I mean, yes,
He has a small pebble-sized stone that he says you can memorize a look, hairdo, makeup, outfit, the whole thing, spend a hope, and instantly recreate that look anytime you want.
So like not disguise self, it's more of that fashion of day, like good hair day.
Yeah, it does a hairdo, makeup, and outfit. It doesn't change who you are as a person. He has a case for keeping animal companions safe. More stuff for bow shooters. A skeleton key, which can be used to help get into locked places.
Like that.
And that's just one handful?
They just sell that?
To adventurers, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds useful to have, honestly.
It works for nothing we try to get into.
Weird how every door we really want to open has a special lock.
Yeah, you still need to try it multiple times and get a natural
Right.
20, but you
He
can try it.
has a prism that draws your eye as it is kind of radiating this prismatic spray of light out of it that immediately makes you think of the rift that you had seen in the cavern. And he tells you that you can place it and activate it, and anyone within close distance of it gets a +1 to their spellcast.
Interesting.
Ooh.
That was just like Rift.
That feel very similar.
And it
Hey,
gives you the same
where
bonus
did-
as the amulet, right?
Where did that thing come from? How did you make it?
Sort of.
Yes, we enchant all of our
Does it
items
stack with the
ourselves.
amulet?
Probably.
So what was the item before you enchanted it?
It was a simple prism until we put the enchantment inside of it.
How much you are want for it?
A handful.
Just sticks her foot out and just.
He has a pair of compasses that always point at each other.
So you
Ooh.
always find
I was like, that's what the fuck does that do?
you ever have anything that is to give protection against or prevent magical seeing? Somebody is trying to see or listen to you
Yes.
from far away. That is something that will hide you.
I don't have anything like that on hand today, but if you visit one of our main branches, I'm sure we might be able to acquire something.
Sanctuary would have something.
And the whistle.
Sanctuary would make something.
Would be good to have.
Do you
How much
think
is the
she's
whistle?
cried on her?
The whistle's a handful.
Maybe.
A handful?
And
A whole
no,
handful
it's
for a
just
whistle.
the feeling
That
even
can
though
be
we
heard
live in
clearly
the
for
forest,
up to a mile,
still
yeah.
somebody
I think most
all
whistles
around
could be
us.
heard from.
That is how I am feeling.
There's also nothing smaller than a handful of gold.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's important.
There is a scroll that you can store the name of up to 3 hostile creatures, and the next time you face them, you get a +1 on any action rolls against them.
How much you would want for that?
A handful.
Just don't put Vestian on the list, please.
He's only 3, so
And
he's
you
locked
can
and
just
other 2
change the
assholes.
names on the scroll.
You can change them
or-
any time. No, it's just
It is a one-time. You can put 3 names on it, 3 hostile creatures on it, and the next time you face them.
That's not a bad
And
thing
then
to
what?
buy.
If
That's
they
so
die, they.
It's a one-time use.
You rewrite them. You write a new name.
No, that's it. You get 3 names, 3 creatures.
Always, though?
Or only
Do you have
one,
to write
only
all
the next
three?
time.
and then that's it. It is broken.
Just once?
You have to write all 3 at the same time.
Yes.
I think it's cool. Yeah, you should totally get that shit.
so far I have the scroll, the prism, the gloves, the rod. Each is 1 handful.
Yeah.
We already paid for yours.
Oh, I got the
That's
cloak,
all
and I
that
paid
is
for the
out.
cloak.
You paid for the cloak already.
Mhm.
Great.
He also has a recipe for vials of dark smoke.
What's that?
It's not like a fog machine.
How much more money
It's
do you have
Batman.
left?
I have
Love that.
Kind of good.
1 bag and 2 handfuls total. That includes the 4 handfuls that were mine.
You had 4 handfuls?
1 bag and 4 handfuls?
I have 1 bag and 2 handfuls. So I have
So
12
That's
handfuls,
12 altogether.
8 of which are technically party funds. Cool.
He
He was
has
supposed to
a.
pay us for this with that.
Done.
Here's your payment. He
Basically,
has
okay, I got
a number of potions that give you bonuses to the next ability roll you make, whatever agility, strength, finesse, presence, knowledge, instinct. He has a few minor health potions, a few minor stamina potions, the Grindletooth Venom, some leaves gathered from the forests to the east of here that when you chew on them, they immediately give you 2 hope.
Huh.
Wait, he's
he-
got hopium.
He's
Got hopium leaves.
He has vials of what he calls moon drip, and you can see this little vial has this like yellow glowing liquid inside of it that he says lets you see through darkness.
How does the minor stamina recipe work? Like, how would we actually be able to use that?
If you have a recipe for a potion during your downtime, you can use one of your downtime moves
I don't think
and
so.
a handful of gold to craft one of these potions.
So we would always need a handful of gold to craft it.
Yep.
I feel like playing
Nothing
this,
on my sheet
I feel
says
like
I
the
do.
handful of gold thing, in theory, like it makes things simpler, which I like, but it kind of also makes it feel like harder than D&D, where some things could just be like a couple silver or copper or something, like you wouldn't have to be worrying about it. Unless it's like,
I mean, a couple silver is a handful.
I just feel real poor in this game compared to D&D.
We also were level 20 with
Yeah.
hordes
Well, no,
of gold.
I know, but I
You
mean,
are
like in
poor
terms
at
of
the
like,
moment.
like the manacles or something, where I feel like in D&D would just be like, here's a few silver, and then like the other things would be like lots of gold, and it was just like a different kind of feeling. Where this is like everything's a handful or more.
It's also, I don't want to focus on the economy, so everything just costs a handful of gold.
no, I know
Yeah.
it's simpler, and I
And
like
like
that.
when you
but-
guys went and got food, when you got books, you weren't charged for it because
That's
it's
true.
just you paid for that. So it's things like this will cost a handful of gold, but regular, everyday, mundane stuff that you're just getting. You want to go get some rope, you go get rope and you pay for it, and you don't mark anything. He has the unstable arcane shard that he mentioned earlier, which is basically a grenade.
Wait, I'm sorry. Tell me what.
You use finesse to throw it at a group of enemies within far range. Any you succeed against take a d20 magic damage.
Finesse, you say?
Yep. He has potions that let you take additional downtime moves. A morphine clay that does let you alter your physical appearance.
One-time use or reusable?
One-time use. And you do have to spend a hope when you use it.
It'd be pretty good if we had a specific mission. We could go get some and then.
Yeah. How much gold do we have left?
The party has 8 handfuls of gold.
Right. Is there anything else that we really wanted? Like
The
aside-
vials of dark smoke.
You don't see me anymore, but you see a boulder on the ground.
That boulder looks a lot like Jax wearing a cloak.
I drive.
A very fashionable boulder.
I sit on the boulder.
Ow! Okay,
Oh.
it breaks and I turn it.
Oh, sorry.
The vial of dark smoke, which he also had the recipe for, you use during an incoming attack to roll a number of d6 equal to your agility. Add the highest result to your evasion score against that attack.
That's pretty cool.
He has jumping root, which lets you leap anywhere within far range without needing to roll.
What the heck? That was my jump thing.
I told you I don't have it memorized. I gotta read through it.
I like the gecko gloves better.
He has a powder that lets you mark stress to clear a hit point. He also has just one of each, but a health potion and a stamina potion. Not a minor health, but a health potion.
It might be good to just have.
Give you all the health back.
How much
It
health?
gives you 1 plus a d4. So always 2,
Could be 5.
up to 5.
Could be.
He has an armor stitcher that you can spend any number of hope and repair that many armor slots instantly. The gill salve he mentioned, which lets you breathe underwater.
You want to make eyebrow when he say armor stitcher. Why am I talking in accent? I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds nice. Could be expensive. The armor stitcher.
Probably a handful,
It's
right?
one-time use, handful.
One-time use. Could be clutch.
It is. Yes, it is. These are all consumable on this. The final thing that he has is a piece of parchment that you can put onto another piece of parchment, and it replicates it exactly.
Ooh, that sounds good for this crazy Mr. Leroy.
That sounds like your kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds like for a book heist.
Oh, my kind of thing to just forge stuff now.
You are a book person.
So is Jax. Jax is book person.
I read books.
Jax is
I'm not a book
You
person.
are
You're more book person than me.
Well, making.
Let's
I
be
read
honest.
books.
You look at
you
books.
know I am.
I read books, but I don't care. Yeah. I enjoy reading the books, but I don't retain any information.
You look at the books.
Jax
I'm getting better.
Jax is know everything and nothing.
So true. Relying solely on my gut.
It's really the recall reflex. Like it all goes in and it just seeps down to the depths, and then sometimes it'll come up.
It just takes me 6 times to read a book to really get it. Yeah,
It's in there though.
it's in there.
It's in there.
It's in there. When I reread it, I'm like, I read that before.
Scroll, prism, gloves, rod, stitcher.
I
Armor
would
stitcher?
add the stitcher to the
Armor
list.
stitcher.
But it doesn't. I don't know if it has to happen this time.
You.
I don't know if we have to go broke.
We don't know. It's okay.
We have 12
It's
hands.
okay.
Okay.
It's
Okay. I mean,
So
look,
that's 6
if
left
we want to spend all our money,
Right.
I want it.
This would be spending 5 handfuls
out of 12.
out of 8 really as party funds for
Oh.
this man.
Oh,
Seems
No.
good. We have you said the rod, the gloves, the stitcher.
Rod, gloves, stitcher, prism, scroll.
and the rod
And
is
that
like
you already got the shield.
Got
You already
And
got
I
the
got
cloak.
cloak.
Got the cloak.
And the rod is
Immovable
like an
rod.
immovable rod.
Oh.
Suspended rod.
Ah.
It's
Does it
weird
let you
how
fly?
these cost only
Or
one
is-
handful of gold.
You just click it and it stays.
Really?
Yep.
How did I miss
can go
this?
back to you and give you the specifics.
That's
It is
fine.
also, you can find in
We're
the
not in
equipment.
debt?
Okay.
We own nothing.
We're not in
Yeah.
there.
Interesting. This is nice.
That is where I feel rich.
Do we have another one? Because look, one immovable rod is nice,
Two
but
gets you
two
places.
can
It
really
gets
get you
places.
somewhere. Yeah.
I'm afraid we
Well, we
only
have
brought
gecko
so
gloves.
much with us to Beredo
But-
for this event, but
So there might be more in Sanctuary.
Yeah.
certainly.
Ah, well,
It is a
so-
commonly requested item.
rod number one, rod number
Because
two.
people know the value of immovable rods, you know?
Yeah.
Suspended
It's got
rods.
the peak.
Suspended rods, right.
The
You got
immovable rod
rods,
is
that's-
trademarked.
You're right. That's different. That
Belongs
sounds-
to some mages
Some
of
wizard on the
some
coast.
next to ocean place.
Some by some wizard on the coast somewhere.
Somewhere. Not necessarily the wizards of coast. Some wizard on some coast.
I don't know. I feel like we're treading on the water somewhere, though. But
Well, you don't have to when you have a suspended
Yeah.
rod.
Okay, I think we get these 5 things.
okay, okay, okay.
You are take armor stitcher.
Sick.
Yep. All of these things should be in equipment that you can add to your inventory.
You are take gloves. You are also take prism. Or I am take
No,
prism.
you can take prism.
Okay, you are sure?
I take.
Yeah, because we're taking
and-
your amulet.
Okay.
No, we stack the damage on his mage.
Okay.
I am also take scroll, right? Asshole
Okay,
one.
so it's
asshole
not
two,
called
asshole
armor stitcher. It's weird. We just renamed
So the
things.
prism you can use over and over again. You just put it on.
that is a good question. Prism is one-time use or reusable?
It is. It is reusable.
So you just have to.
But I have to put it on ground.
Position the prism in a location of your choosing. Once activated, any allies that stand within close distance of the prism get +1 to their spellcast rolls. Once it's deactivated, it can't be activated again until you next long rest.
And it can't, this is more of a DM question, but it can't be like put down, activated, picked up, and
Correct.
carried around.
Once you put it down and activate, that's where it is.
Okay, cool. That is probably good for me since I don't move so much.
Well, try not to anyway.
No, I try. This is not about the try.
I put the hood of my cloak up and I stand right behind Tulak. And I match her shell.
Okay.
Okay, are we about done here?
Who is want rod?
I want that.
Okay.
Okay, what is the armor stitcher actually called?
Can
Armor
I also
stitcher.
get gloves? It's okay. if I
Armor
can also.
No, you are get gloves too.
Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
How do you clear your
Mine was called
filters?
Chaos Cloak.
Oh, reset
So
filters.
I just like Googled, yeah. I looked up just cloak and I found the Chaos Cloak. A cloak whose color, texture, and size can be adjusted by any user. That's what that is, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
But do you call it like fancy tentacle?
And I do.
I call it Octavia's.
Shroud?
Yes.
Just before we finalized that deal, I was mistaken. The armor stitcher is a one-time use.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
Okay.
you said that.
Okay. Couldn't remember if I said that for sure.
However, I can't find it.
I guess it might be called something else. They might be updating. I don't know. This is the latest version of the playtest, but we can look around for it.
I will call it custom equipment.
What's the scroll called?
The scroll. Which scroll?
The scroll where I write the names of the guy.
Oh,
The scroll of Glaucus, Tran, and friends.
yeah.
I like Octavia's mantle.
And then, sorry to make you
Ooh,
scroll.
yeah, that's
I'm
good.
answering one question already. Hang on.
I know, but you. Okay. I need you to
Octavia's
copy and paste. Unless, is that the doc you shared with us on the playtest? Or is this a new playtest doc? We don't have this item list.
Probably
It is called the Lore Keeper.
not. Or it's called the Danny card.
Yeah. And the little sprite he had mentioned previously, this little sprite actually sits in the curve of your ear canal and whispers helpful advice during combat. Once per short rest, you may take advantage on an attack roll, but never give them your true name.
Wait, what?
That's what the little sprite is.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
You missed it.
It sits in the curve of your ear canal and whispers helpful advice during combat. Once per short rest, you can take advantage on an attack roll, but never give them your true name.
But they'll hear it if
That's
someone
a-
says it.
No, it's in his ear canal.
Yeah, but we're not using last names all that much, so they wouldn't get the full name. You have to have like your first, maybe middle if it exists, and last name. That's your true name.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Can you copy, can you just paste the description of the armor stitcher?
We can deal with any items that you are not finding in there
Yes.
afterwards.
And yes, that's
Yep.
what I'm asking.
It's probably in there just under a weird different name.
Sure.
A slight tangent kind of question. I didn't write down the name of the Qatari that I met at the book place.
Oh, that's sad for him.
It's Bestia.
What?
It's Bestia. No.
His name was Jodara.
Thank you.
As you finish up with the purchases you would like to make, the illusory Balthazar brings you to the exit of the tent, which is on the opposite side, and he basically asks you to call out the items that you want, deposit the gold into a box, and those items are transported to a little tray as you exit the tent.
It's like
There,
Amazon.
Ching,
little vending machine.
ching, 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 ching. Okay, I think that is everything. We are tech, tower shield improved, chaos cloak, lore keeper Danny Carr, arcane prism, gecko gloves, rod that sticks in air, armor stitcher of some name. Spasibo.
This is a good system.
Da.
Gather these things up after you deposit your gold. Balthazar gives you a flourishing bow before his illusion winks out, and you see another group coming in. It appears in front of them. Greetings and welcome to Balthazar's Bizarre Bazaar as he leads them inside, and you all head out into the night streets of Barredo. The festivities are still in full swing. It seems like they're going to be going pretty late into the night this evening, which you can join them for or head back to get an early start tomorrow, whichever you wish for your journey toward Sanctuary. And that is where we will wrap up this week's session. I saw that we got a raid out there. We really appreciate you rating us.
Hey!
Feel free to give us a follow, drop us your Prime subs. And if you want to catch up on anything you might have missed previously, we are on YouTube where you can catch all of our old episodes there. Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. We'll see you next week.
Bye.